Okay, so what we got here is about a 1950s gas boiler. We're currently in the process of the draining, and we're going to be replacing with an X206 Burnham boiler. Here we have the Burnham X206 now in. Going to begin the piping process. Went from 2-inch black iron to 1.25" Pro Press fittings.
Yeah, we're working on a converted gravity system, big pipe, 2-inch supplies and returns. A lot of water flow. We got to reduce the flow, so we'll be putting a boiler bypass in on it. Very important. Yeah, right now Bruno's piping the boiler bypass. This is actually a boiler bypass, not a system bypass. Purpose being is this piping in this house is very large, plus radiator, so there's a whole lot of water coming back, cold water. Therefore, if you don't put this bypass in, it'll let cold water come back into this boiler and it'll cause condensation, which will ruin a cast iron boiler.
You can have a 3/4 behind.
Plus, it makes the boiler way much more efficient. So we'll show you here what this bypass consists of once Bruno's finished piping it up. Yeah, you'll notice that we're not soldering the fittings on this boiler. We're using a rigid Pro Press system. We've been using it now probably about 20 years. Very nice tool, reliable, no leaks. Because the solder joint's only as good as the guy doing the solder joint. With the Pro Press, everybody gets a good joint. Hold on, Bruno, just a second. Let me get this on there. Hold off a second. Thank you. You got to be held back like that.
You good?
Yep.
Here we go. And do the upper.
Keep everything nice and level. It's a lot easier to install. Start out straight and straight. Start out crooked and crooked.
Okay.
So, you'll notice we talked earlier about the boiler bypass. This pump's pumping down into the boiler, through the boiler. Then we throttle these valves. It lets so much go out into the system and so much goes right back into the boiler. It circles right around here. Then the rest is this loop.
Our object here is to keep the temperature in the boiler as hot as we can possibly keep it.
But we don't want the boiler temperature going.
Don't condensate.
We don't want the boiler temperature going between below 140 degrees. It will cause problems.
As you can see, we're finished here now with the boiler. We have our supply and our return coming back. We have our bypass. We set our valves for our bypass, again, to keep the boiler temperature warm. We have our Grumpus pump, which is giving us a reading of 43 watts on high speed. We have our new expansion tank, which is here, which eliminated the need for the big old captive air tank. Our fill valve is here. We have our flue damper here, as well as our new flue pipe. And as we come around to the front, we have our new gas line and the heart and control of the whole operation right here. We have the burners, the gas valve, the smart control, the low water cutoff. It's all part of the boiler as we get it from Burnham. Other than that, the system is good. It's running perfect. It's ready to go, and keep the folks warm for years to come.